What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Pretty Conspiracy Row, and I'm coming with a really quick video today about LOD versus the internet. Just made a video about the mass grave site of black people being found in Easton, Pennsylvania, under a park. And I just want to build on that a little bit, just based off of some things that I've read and some knowledge that I've collected. Shout out to LOD versus the internet. If you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe. Shout out to Ross Ben, who is the writer of this book, and I was actually introduced to him by I believe it was Brother Dreamwise, or it might have even been Anya Saru. If you're not subscribed to them, go show them some love as well, because they're giving out great knowledge and information over there. Now, what I wanted to say really quick before I because I'm gonna read something from the book that basically speaks directly to the situation, but I just wanted to say that, it's so many layers to this, and if you don't know, then it won't be easy for you to tell. Like, it'll be easy for you to just write this off as like, oh, it could have been a mistake, or they didn't have the right technology at the time, or that would be easy to do if you didn't understand what was actually going on. And what is going on is they're actually performing necromancy, or some type of spell work, I guess you could say, and it's done to interrupt the energy of the indigenous people of the land, of that place. So it gives a lot of information in this book. Free Your Mind, Free and Your Mind Will Follow. Now, it talks about urban Necro-Geomancy and the use of city design burial practices of the dead to control the living. So, in so many words, they basically controlling our ancestors' energy through death, and they're using it to control us. Like, it goes into great detail about the book, about why cities are designed the way they designed, or why they founded on certain days. It even goes into the natal charts of these cities, because it goes into the astrology of these cities, because like, this stuff is way deeper than y'all think. Like, but we already knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say all the time, or I've thought it, or I've heard people say it, like, when you look at the layout of Washington, D.C., and you see how these places are made, or you see how things come together, and you think like, well, that couldn't have been no coincidence. Who collaborated together for this to happen, and why? Well, in this book, it explains why. Now, it says, not a battle of flesh and blood. It can be said that Mound gritters are those working to control and captivate the mind and spirit of humanity in the name of Rome. This organized collective appears to be aware of the significance of the global Mound matrix and its impact on human consciousness. In order to magnetically, because all these things are connected, and they're connected to us because we are the indigenous people of this land, In order to magnetically impel and inform the mind of others, and thus manipulate their emotions and behavior, mound gritters occupy indigenous mounds. So in order to control us, they occupy the mounds, or the grave sites of our ancestors, and through death they control them. So they also controlling us. The occupation involves destroying most neighboring mounds and leaving a few. Those remaining mounds then become the place significant architectural structures of various sorts are erected. Within these magnetically charged towers of power, mound gritters manifest their will upon those within the broadcast range of their magnetically charged intentions. As far as North America is concerned, many of the founding fathers of the United States mastered control over the indigenous minds of this region through identifying and occupying indigenous mounds and manipulating the North American mound matrix. Occupying indigenous mounds and manipulating the mound matrix prevents the indigenous from fully connecting with spirit, and thus their minds are easier to impel. This makes it easier to trigger emotions and manipulate the behavior of the indigenous people. Within a manipulated Mound matrix, an indigenous mental magnetic field is incongruent with the magnetized manifested reality. The manipulated Mound matrix is going to manifest the will of the Mound gritter. The result for the indigenous is disillusion and delusion. Disillusion thoughts magnetize toxic, unproductive emotions. Toxic emotions fed by disillusion tend to express a self-destructive, undoing, and unproductive behavior. A magnetically repulsive charge is thus attached to the indigenous. If not discharged through grounding and sustained reconnection with natural magnetic sources, the indigenous will demagnetize. His or her magnetic field will diminish and cancel. It may cancel in a flash and appear as the tragic sudden loss of a promising star to be, or it may dwindle slowly as in a devitalized and sick living dead. Those indigenous demagnetize of their own mental consciousness and magnificent imagination. Disconnected from ancestors, land, and the cosmos, they tend to be devitalized and demagnetized by eating habits and food choices as well. This is the slow, sick death of the indigenous existence through intentions of Mound gritters. This is not a battle of flesh and blood, but of spiritual wickedness in high and low places. So yeah, the book is really deep. Like it has everything to, like I said, it's not about flesh and blood. Like when we see these statues and this Masonic symbolism, like it's not just there for no reason. It has everything to do with magnetism. It has everything to do with frequency. It has everything to do with vibration. It has everything to do with your vibration and keeping you low vibrational, and it's crazy. It's crazy because they go so far out their way to keep us away from our own stuff, and they use it on us every day. We see it in our face every day. So I just want to share this with y'all and let y'all know that this was definitely another way that they use to control and to manipulate us. And whether we know it or not, whether we believe in it or not, it's still happening. And the more aware of it we are, the more we can counter, the better we can counter and the better we can prepare ourselves. So real quick before I go, I do want to show y'all a few things out of the book. So this is the book, and you see it goes through certain architectures and certain cities, and it tells the story of the city, when it was founded, how it was founded, the mason that founded it, on what mound or I want to say ley line, or if it was built on somewhere with a high magnetism or anything like that. Like it goes all into it. Let me see if I can find y'all some more pictures. It goes into the natal charts of these different cities, when they were founded, and it helps to explain more about what's going on in those cities and how they were charged and what spells they were charged with. Look at this, y'all. Like this, it's bigger than what our mind could ever even conceive. The lengths that these people are going to keep us under a spell. That's why I hate when I hear people say like, oh, but it's black people doing this. Well, why black people still killing black people? Y'all don't know how deep this is. We not just doing this to ourselves. Trust me. We got a whole lot of help. Let me see. Let me go back. But y'all, yeah, if y'all get a chance, y'all make sure y'all look into this book. It's highly suggested. It gives some great information. Some stuff that we all should know to make our life better, to make our ancestral connections stronger, and to make this a better world for all of us. All right. And this is the writer of the book. But that's all. Y'all have a good day.